everybody. Unhappy Wednesday. Coming to you live back here in the humble abode, Fairfield Township, Ohio. This is the Unhappy Gilmore Show, powered by Green Legion Radio and part of the Green Legion Radio family. We thank you, as always, for joining us from wherever you may be and whatever device you're using to stream us on YouTube. So please pull up a chair, turn up the volume, use the company dime if, God forbid, you're still stuck at work. Crack open a cold one if that's your thing on hump day. And let's try to have some fun as we put an end to day 3 of this week's hostage situation and look forward to tomorrow being Friday Eve. Lou Mancini in the room. I'm expecting a light crowd tonight. I am going to kind of hustle through this a little bit. I am supposed to fly to Los Angeles tomorrow. So the idea is I'm going to get up, go to work, as usual, leave at, 1:30, and head on down to the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky airport, where my flight is supposed to leave at 5 o'clock or whatever, and get into Chicago, and then from there it's on to LA. Now, as luck would have it, my luck in general, we are expecting the high tomorrow to be about 34 degrees. We are expecting the wind chill to have it feel like it's in the 20s. We are expecting some snow showers and gusty winds. Sounds like an excellent day to try to fly out of here. So I'm not quite sure what all is going to happen tomorrow, but I am leaving here in the morning with the full thought and intention that I am getting into LA tomorrow evening. Now, my flight into Los Angeles is not scheduled to get in until 9:30 LA time, which to me is going to feel like 12:30. And then I've got to get over to the hotel, get checked in, and get to bed, which is going to feel probably more like, 1:30 in the morning to me, while it will only be 10:30 out there. So, yeah, provided everything goes well and I'm able to get out of Cincinnati without delay, get my connecting flight from Chicago and get on to Los Angeles, hopefully I'm laying down by 10:30 p.m. LA time. There are, of course, a couple of concerns. The first of which is, can we even get out of Cincinnati? Because that's the weather. Now, the other thing is the storm is kind of stretching across the Midwest. So flying up to Chicago kind of has us flying right through it. I don't know if they're going to do that. I just don't know what I don't know. So if we can't get out of Cincinnati, I'll just come home and then we'll try again on Friday. First thing in the morning, hopefully. The bigger concern I have, and I'm not checking a bag. I bought a nice little suitcase, little 22 by 14 by 9, with all of my shit in there. So no checking a bag. But the other concern, the bigger concern I have is if they can get me out of Cincinnati, but we get delayed and I miss my connection from Chicago. If there ends up being no other flights heading to LA from Chicago when I get there, I'm going to end up having to sleep at O'Hare Airport tomorrow night. So pray that doesn't happen. We're just going to have to see how it goes. I'm going. So we're going to figure it out one way or the other. But it could be interesting. For those of you that do follow me on Facebook, keep an eye out because I may go live a few times tomorrow night with updates and hopefully good ones. Could be some shitty ones. We'll just have to wait and see. But how the hell are all of you? Lou Mancini in the room. Keenan Harmon joins us as well. Yeah. So tonight after the show, I've got to get my laundry finished up. We got to get that into the dryer. My bag is already packed. I just got to get together all the shit that I'm going to put in my backpack because I'm not checking a bag. So that's the travel plans tomorrow. I'm not checking a bag. So if they can't get me out of Cincinnati, it's as simple as, okay, I just grab my shit and I come home for the night and then try again Friday morning. If they can get me out, hopefully they get me to Chicago in time to catch my flight to LA, because I really don't want to be stuck in Chicago. But we're going to do what we have to do to get out to LA and get this Green Legion trip rolling in the right direction. Not that, obviously Quimby will be there, but, I am heading out because other folks, Green Legion wise, had a lot of family plans. I had the PTO time just like I did last year. Last year, remember, the weekend before Thanksgiving, we played Kansas City. So I drove out to that. Quimby yelled at me, told me it's just I said, don't, make sure you get on a plane next time. This time around, it's Los Angeles. So it has to be a flight. I'm definitely not driving all the way across the country, especially not alone. Michelle, unfortunately, cannot go on this one. She did not have the PTO time. If she did, no question about it, we'd be worrying about both of us getting stuck at the O'Hare Airport tomorrow night. But quick. Supposed to be in late on tomorrow night, and then back out here to Cincinnati very early Tuesday morning. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and that's it. Friday is pretty much balls to the wall. And I know there are some folks out there who are also going on this trip. So I'm going to pull up the email from our illustrious leader and read off again the check-in times for what's up, bro? Safe travels. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Yeah, gonna be an interesting thing. Oh, look, I can check in for my flight. I'll have to do that afterwards as well. They changed the Yahoo email. I hate when they do this shit. But anyway, so game tickets have been sent. Let me get to... Here we go. All right, initial email about our LA weekend. For any of you out there watching this now or watching this later tonight or listening to it whenever, here's the deal. So, Venice Whaler is our headquarters for the weekend with overflow across the street at a place called Pier House. Okay? It's basically right on Venice Beach. The hotels are like a couple of blocks up from there. You can walk, you can Uber, take your pick. The schedule to pick up all of your credentials. This is your tailgate badge, your wristband for all the specials that we're offering at the various watering holes, and your pep rally wristbands. These are the check-ins. Tomorrow, and the times I'm giving you are LA times, or West Coast times, okay? Tomorrow at the Venice Whaler from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. All right, so if you're getting out there early or you're already there and you want to go pick up your stuff, go see Quimby at the Venice Whaler tomorrow from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. On Friday, we will be back at the Venice Whaler from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Hopefully, I'm in town by then, and I'll see you guys there. On Saturday, we will be at the Venice Whaler from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., and then again from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Remember that the pep rally will be from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. So we'll be doing check-ins from an hour before until an hour after it starts. All right? That evening at the Venice Whaler. And then on Sunday, the tailgate, you'll be able to pick up your stuff from 11:15 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. And make this loud and clear, we are finished checking people in for this tailgate at 1:30 p.m. All right? By that point, on Sunday, you will have had 5 different opportunities to come pick up your stuff. Got to figure it out, y'all. Okay? It's, we always try to provide ample opportunity for everyone to get their things. I actually feel like you've got, additional time on this one, given that he's going to do a check-in tomorrow as well. So again, just to run through that, to get your wristband for the pep rally, to get your badge for the tailgate and your Green Legion wristband for the drink specials at the bars around that we're going to be doing our thing at. The check-in times are West Coast time, LA time, tomorrow from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., Friday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., Saturday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., and then again from 6 to 8 p.m. All of that at the Venice Whaler, right on Venice Beach. On Sunday, 11:15 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. That is at the tailgate at Cork and Batter. Okay? At 1:30 p.m. on Sunday, we're done. Because then we got to shift over and do the radio show. All right? So it's a hard stop. You've got 5 different opportunities between, tomorrow at 1 p.m. and Sunday at 1:30 p.m. to pick up your things. 4 of those 5 times are all at the Venice Whaler down on the beach there. You'll have a 2-hour and 15-minute window on Sunday at the tailgate location to pick up your stuff. All right? The drink specials that your wristband will get you. You will have $5 Michelob Ultras, Bud Lights, House Seltzers, and well drinks from Thursday to Tuesday at all Whaler locations, to include the Venice Whaler, the Pier House, Baja Cantina, Santa Monica Whaler, and Jameson's Pub in Santa Monica. Okay? Tomorrow night, bar crawl through Marina del Rey and Venice. This is the preliminary schedule. Baja Cantina from 5 to 6:30 p.m. Cabo Cantina from 6:30 to 8 p.m. And then the Venice Whaler from 8 p.m. until whenever. I will not be at any of that. Okay? If all of my travel goes well, I will not even get to the hotel to check in until 10 p.m. LA time at best. All right? So you will not see me tomorrow at all. On Friday, we will have a bar crawl through Santa Monica following tentative schedule. 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Britannia Pub. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Ye Old King's Head. And then 8 p.m. until whenever at the Santa Monica Whaler. Those locations, about a 15-minute ride from our hotels in the marina up to Santa Monica. All right, so your Uber is about 15 minutes. I don't know what the hell that's going to charge in LA. Ride together, split the Ubers, whatever. Pep Rally Party starts at 7 p.m. and goes until 10 p.m. and is at Baja Cantina. Okay, so I spoke out of turn before. It's not the Venice Whaler. It's at Baja Cantina. That will be open bar. It includes domestic beer, house seltzers, and well drinks. Don't walk up and try to order Jack and Coke. All right? Just give me well whiskey and Coke. All right? There is no food included with the pep rally. The buses from our hotels to the tailgate will leave promptly at 11 a.m. on Sunday. All right? Our hotel guests will be allowed admittance into the tailgate first. Let's make that clear. People staying with us, our hotel travelers, will have admittance into the tailgate first. Game tickets are all electronic, blah, blah, blah. He's already sent those out. So if you had the game tickets, you've already gotten them. I've got mine in my email too. So that's the rundown. You guys know there will be more emails coming as things develop, as other things come up. But that's the initial right now. Again, I will not be in until, cross your fingers, everything goes well. I get out of here tomorrow night. And I will see you all Friday morning. If not, then I'll probably still see you Friday morning, but it's just going to be a long night for me. So, yeah, that's about it for that right now. All right. So if anybody has any questions, as always, you can reach out to Quimby. I can try to answer whatever questions you might have if you're traveling to LA with us. Apart from that, I think we are, let me see. Nope, that's not the right website, Adam. Trips.greenlegion.com. All right, so LA is off and rolling. We know this. Lou Dominguez in the room. Did this trip with Green Legion in 2017, and it was epic. Nice to see you, brother. Thanks for popping in. Always appreciate it. Invading Baltimore. So travel packages. Do we still have anything left? Yeah. So trips.greenlegion.com. If you want to get out on the road with us, you couldn't make it to LA. You've still got opportunity to head to Baltimore and then Washington. And that's it, guys. That's the end of the road trips for the year. Keep in mind, 4 of our final 5 games are at home. We get Carolina at home, Pittsburgh at home, then we're at Washington, then we close out the season at home against Dallas and New York. So once we get past the Baltimore game, it's 4 of the last 5 at home. So for you folks there in Philadelphia, you're looking for your tailgate, trips.greenlegion.com, book the home tailgate. 950-person footprint at Xfinity. Do it up. Lou Dominguez. Hi, Lou, and all. Have a safe and awesome trip, Adam. Thanks, brother. I'm just hoping to get out of here. I'm hoping we don't end up with any bullshit. Trying to get out on time tomorrow. Snow and wind. Not a whole lot of snow. They're talking accumulation less than an inch. So it's not the snow I'm worried about. It's the wind. And if they feel like the wind is too much for the for the plane to get off the ground, for the plane to fly through, whatever the case may be, and we have to get delayed or what have you. I don't know. But that's your rundown for LA. You can still hop on bus trips for Baltimore and Washington. Play Baltimore on Sunday, December 1st. And then we're at Washington on December 22nd. Baltimore trip actually is interesting. So Green Legion invades Baltimore and Inner Harbor that weekend. So 2-night package and a day trip are available. Accommodations at the Hyatt Regency Baltimore Inner Harbor. Round trip nonstop charter bus service Saturday, November 30th through and then back on Monday, December 2nd only. Green Legion wristband, yada, yada, yada. Now, the tailgate for this one is huge. 3.5 hours, so not the 4-hour thing, but listen to this. Tailgate menu from All Y'all's Barbecue featuring USDA prime beef brisket, low and slow pulled pork, Kansas City pork spare ribs, buffalo chicken skewers, grilled sweet Italian sausage with peppers and onions, sweet teriyaki smoked beef meatballs, cheeseburger sliders, Freddy's Weenie Cart featuring New York-style hot dogs with all the fixings, coleslaw, baked beans, Italian pasta salad, Miss Andrea's world-famous mac and cheese, fresh freedom fries, assorted Utz chips, cupcakes, and there are actually vegan options by special request only. The open bar, of course, ice cold 16-ounce aluminum bottles. That's Bud Light, Mick Ultra, Natty, White Claw, and Hoop Tea, whatever the hell that is. In addition, a full spirits cocktail bar featuring Deep Eddy Vodka, orange, grapefruit, lime, and lemon flavored, Jameson, Malibu coconut rum, bourbon, Alto's silver tequila, Seagram's gin, Don Q white rum, and spiced rum. Your non-alcoholic beverages, of course, Coke, Sprite, Diet Coke, bottled water, orange juice, cranberry juice, ginger ale, and club soda. I mean, this just sounds like a blast, and that food menu sounds absolutely amazing. So if you were looking to jump on something, this might be the one to do if you couldn't get on anything else and you're coming out of Philly. A little bit, so let's see. If you went 2-night package on your own, you call it $1,000. That covers your it's $970. So that's your trip down, your trip back. So this is if you took the bus, trip down and back, all the food, all that stuff, your game ticket, pretty good, man. You're right on the Inner Harbor. So same day bus trip if you just wanted to go down and back for the game, $500 a person. That includes your tailgate, game ticket, and transportation to and from. That's pretty damn good. So yeah, jump on that. I don't know if anybody wants to go to Washington. That one's open too. I hear that stadium's terrible, but somewhat the same type of deal. They're gonna head down in the morning, and it's just a bus trip down and back. Right, so bus trip to and from FedEx Field, catered meal on the bus ride. Good friends at Kavanaugh's, breakfast burrito of your choice, cold hoagie or salad of your choice, 6 wings, bag of chips, cookie for dessert, plenty of domestic beers and seltzers, your upper level ticket. Buses leave at 9 a.m. from Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club, located at 2740 South Front Street in Philadelphia. Call 215-467-1980 for all of your group and party packages. Bus leaves from there, tailgate on the way, and have an hour and a half to 2 hours of tailgate time in the lot at FedEx. Not going to set up a large tailgate there. Parking lot's not open until 9, and it's a disaster trying to get there early enough to set up the proper conditions for a large buffet-style tailgate is for, unfortunately. We will eat and drink on the way up, get in the game, get back to the buses, and get home. And that one, folks, is $395 per person. Not bad at all. That includes your game ticket. So there you go. After the LA trip, if you didn't make it out, those are the 2 that are left. Otherwise, nothing wrong with home tailgates, right? Trips and tailgates, home tailgates. If the page would load. Taking forever. So still 4 of those left, right? Yeah, against the Panthers on Sunday, December 8th from 8 a.m. to noon. Against the Steelers on Sunday, December 15th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Against Dallas on Sunday, December 29th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And the final game of the year on Sunday, January 5th. Right now showing 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., but the time of that game is still to be determined. Look, the Giants stink. They're going to continue to stink. There's a chance by the end of that we've got the division, whatever seed we're going to be already locked up. I'm guessing that's going to be a 1 p.m. game. But just keep in mind, all of the information I've already given you, aside from probably next week's game, there's times you can get flexed into a Sunday night, into another 4 o'clock game, into a Monday night. You just, you don't know what you don't know. I think the only thing they can't do is they cannot flex you back into a Thursday. I think that's how that works. So there you go. There's your Green Legion update. All right. Now, I am going to go ahead and read the actual business thing. Proudly sponsored by Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club, located at 2740 South Front Street in Philadelphia. Just minutes away from the sports complex. Cheerleaders brings you the area's most beautiful women on 5 different stages. Open 7 days a week from noon until 2 a.m. and until 4 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. For group information, call 215-467-1980. Also offering free parking, a full menu, daily drink and food specials, and a premium selection of cigars and a cigar lounge. If you're looking for a place to watch your favorite sporting event, you can't get out to the link, the bank, or wherever, head on over to Cheerleaders and enjoy the 75-foot HD TV wall, as well as HD TV screens throughout the club. Once again, folks, that's Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club, located at 2740 South Front Street in Philadelphia. 215-467-1980 for all of your group and party planning. All right, I am going to go ahead and get this up here now in case anybody wants to jump in. I was going to keep it pretty loose tonight. Not a whole lot going on. I mean, the Birds have looked really, really good. I mean, I know we had our early struggles again, but, you pull away late. Saquon does his thing again. How he's not met. I think if Jalen Hurts wasn't such a touchdown merchant from the goal line, Saquon Barkley might already have freaking 15 touchdowns. But apparently Saquon is a fan of the tush push. So I say whatever wins this games. I really wish Nick would get away from it a little bit. First of all, I think we can all admit it's not the same without Kelsey, which I think most of us knew going into this year that once Kelsey retired, that play was not going to look the same. I think Cam Jurgens is doing an excellent job, but he's not Jason Kelsey. He was never going to be Jason Kelsey. Jason Kelsey is one of, if not the best center ever. He's certainly the best that we've ever had. So trying to replace a legend doesn't often happen. But Jurgens has done a nice job. It's just that play, when you can't run it as effectively, and let's be honest here, it hasn't been as effective. You start to look at the risk of injury on plays like that. And, the Jacksonville game comes to mind immediately. So AJ went off the field, right? He was hurt. Jalen Hurts and Fred Johnson both get dinged up pretty bad, or, both get dinged up pretty good on the touchdown run. And again, here we are lining up to go for this tush push to get this, to get the 2-point conversion. It's like, Nick, dude, we're already getting banged up in this game, right? Why risk it? Take the freaking point and move on. And for some reason or another, he just couldn't do it. I don't know what was going on that night. I think we talked about it, on the show the week after. I don't know if it was something to do with going against Doug Peterson, or if it was his, he's obviously a very analytics-driven type of head coach, or if he's just plain out too stupid aggressive, or if it's a combination of all of it. But the bottom line is that push is not as effective, and he is absolutely in love with that play. You're going to go to the well one too many times, is what I'm going to tell you. It damn near cost us against Jacksonville. So, Lou Mancini. It was mentioned earlier that Lane Johnson was regressing, but I read today he's only given up 4 pressures so far, so sounds pretty good to me. Yeah, 4 pressures, but keep in mind we also have a quarterback that's pretty mobile. Don't get me wrong, Jalen Hurts is not Lamar Jackson. He's not the speed runner that Lamar is, or that Jaden Daniels, or like Michael Vick was. He's a little bit more. I mean, still fast enough. Don't get me wrong, but a little bit more power, with the legs and everything. So, but he is mobile. So, I don't know how. I don't really. It's easier to measure pressures if your quarterback is like, Lou Dominguez. If you're still watching, I'm sorry, but if your quarterback is like Dan Marino, who just doesn't move, right? He's a statue. Peyton Manning was the same way. Tom Brady was the same way. They're just there. Joe Burrow is a lot like that. Burrow can slide a little bit. He's sneaky athletic enough to take off here and there. But for the most part, he's a pocket passer. Pressures are a little bit easier to judge. But what is the – so if Jalen gets – I just don't know how that works if – Jalen's getting pressured from one side, scrambles over or whatever, and and then Lane eventually gets beat. I can tell you from the naked eye, he does look like he has regressed a little bit. Just watching it on TV, he doesn't look like the same guy. Again, what are we, 11 years in? Lane Johnson? He's had his fair share of injuries. He had the bout with depression some years back. I got to be honest with you. I'm not going to be surprised if this is the last hurrah for Lane. I know nobody wants to hear that, but it wouldn't surprise me. 11 years is a long time when you play offense, especially playing offensive line. And he's been great. He's been absolutely outstanding. But there comes a time when Father Time's undefeated. There's a reason for that. So, we'll have to see what happens at the end here. Look, if by some chance we're able to go on some run and and take home the trophy again, I can pretty much guarantee you Lane Johnson's going to walk away. But it may not take that. He may just decide that was it. So, but back to the tush push, brotherly shove, whatever the hell we want to call it. Nick is like addicted to that play, and it scares me a little bit that he goes to it so quick. Lou Man say you think he'll play one more year? Either way, he's got to be a first ballot. First ballot stuff, and I'm glad you brought that up. It's a great way to segue into what I want to talk about here, pretty much for the rest of the show. I was texting with Lou Dominguez and Chris Sack earlier. The 25 finalists, semifinalists for the 2025 Hall of Fame class were released. And so I sent that list to Chris and Lou, and I'm sure they had seen it already. But, my questions were, do we think the committee finally puts Eric Allen into the Hall of Fame? And we're going to go over his credentials for it here in a few minutes. And then my question to Lou Dominguez was Richmond Webb, offensive lineman. Is this his year as well? And of course, asking Lou, hey, if Richmond gets in, it's a Dolphins legend. Would you make another trip up here? And maybe I'd have a chance to come hang. And then we got on to the, Eli Manning's also on this ballot. And Chris Sack, his stance is he thinks Eli will get in first ballot because he's a Manning. I don't like that. I don't think Eli Manning is first ballot Hall of Fame guy. I don't. I understand it, 2 rings. I think he should get in. Okay? He's got 2 Super Bowl rings, and he's got those wins against the greatest dynasty that the sport has ever seen, at least in the Super Bowl era, right? One of them to stop an undefeated season, right? As much as we all hate the Giants, I think we're all thanking the Giants for that. I know Lou Dominguez was. But should Eli get in? Well, Eli, should he get in first ballot? No, I don't think so. Because you're talking about, what is he, 117 and 117 in his career? He's a 500 quarterback who, threw a lot of interceptions. He also threw a lot of touchdown passes, but he threw a lot of interceptions. His career is basically built on those 2 postseason runs, which, along with the compiled stats over his career, I think makes him a Hall of Fame player. I just don't think it makes him a first ballot Hall of Fame player. Dave Califoot. Hey, guys, hasn't been a good week. Dealing with my own depression, dealing with my uncle. Has been very trying. Go Dogs, go Birds. Love you all. Hey, brother. I hope things get better for you, man. I saw your post about your uncle. We're very sorry to hear what's going on there. Lou Mancini summed it up best here. Love you too, Dave. Hoping for better days ahead for you. Absolutely, man. We're always hoping for good days for you guys. And I'm sorry you're going through that right now, man. We'll put this back up again in case Fanny joins me. I was being held hostage at work. That's some bullshit at this hour. Hall of Fame stuff, right? I don't think Eli's first ballot. Chris thinks he's going to get in first ballot because he's a Manning. And apparently our good friend Shut Up Diaz made a wager with someone that Eli would not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And the wager was like this really expensive dinner for 4 of them. So I guess there's some rooting interest for Eli to go in first ballot so that Diaz has to pony up. But no, overall, I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Chris and I were also texting last night while we're on the subject of Hall of Fame before we get back to the Pro Football Hall of Fame list. There was what were we texting about last night? 504. Yeah. It was this Draymond Green shit. I had sent them a clip of it was like a video game doctored to look like Draymond Green was doing wrestling moves on people on the court. And I thought it was funny. Of course, none of us like Draymond, so there's that back and forth. I guess Diaz also believes that Draymond Green is a Hall of Fame basketball player. I do not. Chris does not. I don't think Lou did either. So it's been a fun conversation the last couple of days about just Hall of Fame stuff in general. But now we see the list. So let's get that list out. All right, guys, if you haven't seen it yet, the list of the 25 semifinalists up for eligibility for the 2025 class next year. Eli Manning, Luke Kuechly, Steve Smith Jr., wide receiver, Panthers, safety Earl Thomas, kicker Adam Vinatieri, defensive end Jared Allen, linebacker Terrell Suggs, tight end Antonio Gates, who I thought should have gotten in last year, guard tackle Marshall Yanda, linebacker James Harrison, defensive tackle Vince Wilfork, offensive tackle Willie Anderson, wide receivers Torrey Holt, Anquan Bolden, and Reggie Wayne, guard Jahari Evans, safety Rodney Harrison, cornerback Eric Allen, defensive end Robert Mathis, running back Fred Taylor, wide receiver Hines Ward, running back Ricky Waters, offensive tackle Richmond Webb, guard Steve Wisniewski, and safety Darren Woodson. That is the list. So, Keenan Diaz is my favorite dumbass of all time. I love that guy. Lou Mancini. Diaz still believes in the process as well. Yeah, so Joel EmBOOB, that's his name from now on. Joel EmBOOB. Getting called up by Tyrese Maxey. Then, of course, everybody's running to play damage control. Oh, it's being blown out of proportion. No, it's not. EmBOOB. Yeah, Keenan. Eric Allen for the win. That was my guy. Yeah, and it's time, right? This is his 19th year of eligibility. If this one goes by and he doesn't get in, he's going to end up, stuck with the senior committee. So what'll happen now is you're at 25. That will get reduced to 15 next month in December. And then it is, when the hell do they do it? Selection committee will meet in New Orleans before the Super Bowl to determine the Hall of Fame class of 2025. And they will be inducted next August in Canton, Ohio, which is about a 3.5-hour ride for me. 3.5 hours. California. I never understood the Diaz thing. Guy was always nice when I met him, took pictures, even had my no, dude, I think it's just a thing. It's just fun, right? Just the whole shut up Diaz thing is just a fun thing. Nobody's saying Diaz is a piece of shit. I don't think anybody believes that. I've never had anything but great interaction with him. It's just a fun thing. It's a joke, right? Is the thing. Just fun to goof around about. That's all. Everybody's very opinionated, sports-wise. All of you are. All of us are. And sometimes Diaz is a bit of a goofball with his opinions on it. It's fun to bust his stones over it. That's really all it is, man. But Eric Allen, okay, is in his 19th year of eligibility. Players become eligible 5 years after they retire and have a 20-year window of eligibility before their fate rests with the Hall of Fame Seniors Committee. So EA is running out of chances here, okay? This is year 19. He doesn't get in this year. He's got one more year of regular eligibility, and then it would have to be a Seniors Committee thing. I don't want to see it go to that because I don't think he should have had to wait this long in the first place. But, I certainly don't think he should slip into the Seniors Committee thing. This should be something that he gets in either this year. I'd rather it be this year, so we're not sitting here waiting for in the final season. What does work in his favor, he is the only corner on the list of 25. There are three safeties, but Earl Thomas, it's his, no, if he gets in, not yet. Rodney Harrison has a case, of course, so we'll see, but he is the only corner on the list, and that helps his cause. 58 interceptions in his career, 9 touchdown returns. One of only 7 players in NFL history with 9 pick sixes. Only Charles Woodson and Aqib Talib had more as straight-up corners. And one of only 3 players in NFL history with at least 58 picks and 9 touchdown returns. The other 2? So his 58 picks are tied for 8th most all-time by a corner. I mean, there's 45 defensive backs in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Only 4 of them had 58 career picks and 9 returned for touchdowns in their entire career. And only 2 of those 4, Aeneas Williams and Deion Sanders, reached those milestones as full-time corners. I don't know what the hell they're waiting for with Eric Allen. He was an instant splash, 5 picks in his rookie season, 8 more in year 2, when he made his first of 6 Pro Bowls and was named first-team All-Pro. He had 34 interceptions in 7 years with the Eagles and shares that franchise record with Bill Bradley and Brian Dawkins. He is in that echelon, okay? He deserves the Hall of Fame, and it's time for them to recognize it. He's the only corner on the list. Yes, there's 3 safeties. So if you group everybody by a damn defensive back, whatever, but he's the only corner. Right? You can go up and down this list of 25, and look, you can make a case for all of them, obviously. If there's anybody out there if you have not read the process by which the NFL and these guys, the committee, the process they use to actually end up inducting people in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it's extensive. It's a stringent process, and it should be. It should be the best of the best, right? And the NFL makes sure of it with their process. What in the hell are you all talking about here? Fanny, what's the issue? Fanny, you don't know Diaz, so it's this isn't something you would be aware of. It's just a goofball thing, man. Keenan, Califoot, we think Diaz acts goofy on purpose. He'll say some dumb shit just to stir the pot. A really cool guy. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Shots fired. The issue, Fanny, is Alabama sucks. Wow. Just fire it right over the bow there, huh, brother? Dave, I don't know if you saw, but the one of the projections for the 12-team playoff has Penn State playing Georgia in the opening round. You should be happy about that, Dave. For all the rest of you, any of you who root for Penn State like I do, you do not want any part of that, because if that's the case, Penn State is one and done. Georgia would wipe the mat with the Nittany Lions, unfortunately. But I thought you'd get a laugh out of that. I think they had us at the 6 and you guys at the 11. And I went, I'm not betting on it. Get out of here with your Casey Yingling. No, dude. No, God, I wouldn't wager on that game if my life depended on it. Are you kidding me? And Fanny says, go Nittany Lions. So this I don't understand, okay? College sports, oftentimes, especially you fans of SEC teams, you like to run around, even when it's not your team playing. When it's, when it's a Tennessee playing like, Michigan or something like that, you like to run around, SEC. But yeah, here's Fanny going, go Nittany Lions. I'm just trying to stir the pot a little bit more. She's probably just trying to get back at you for your shot at Bama. But yeah, so back to Eric Allen. He has the 34 picks with the Birds, right? He adds 5 more picks in 3 years with the Saints and then 15 more in 4 years with the Raiders. During the 13-year period from 1988 through 2000, only Hall of Famer Rod Woodson had more interceptions than Eric Allen, 58 to 57. And nobody had more pick sixes. Nobody. From 88 through 2000. That includes Deion Sanders. Okay? Like, that includes Darryl Green. That includes the best of that era. And yet, for some reason, here's Eric Allen sitting on the outside looking in. It's time for that to end. Again, he's the only corner on the list. It's time for Eric Allen to get into the Hall of Fame this year. Do not make that man wait until his final year of eligibility. Put him in. And I got to be honest with you, we're close enough. Fanny, you might want to keep an ear out for this one. If Eric Allen does get in, I may try to get a bunch of us to take a trip up to Canton to be there when EA is inducted. So I missed out on Dawkins, and it sucked. But the reason why I missed out on Dawkins, we were living in Tennessee at the time, and Hall of Fame induction weekend is always that first weekend in August. My son Liam, his birthday is August 4th. So that year, the induction day was actually on his birthday. Now, had we been living here where it was only a 3.5 hour drive, I could have gone up, been there, come back home, and been fine. We were living in Tennessee. So you're talking about an 8 to 8.5 hour drive. I'm not blowing off my son. But that was literally the only thing that kept me from doing that Green Legion trip to Canton, was the fact that it was my little boy's birthday. So there goes my dog running up the stairs. But yeah, Fanny, keep that under your hat for August of next year, first weekend in August. If Eric Allen gets inducted, there's a chance at least a few of us may head up there to congratulate and be there. The rest of the list, I mean, we talked about Eli Manning. I don't think he's first ballot guy. Chris Sack thinks he's going to get in because it's a Manning thing. Tight end Antonio Gates. He is the only tight end on the list, and I felt like he should have gotten in last year. I think he gets in this year. Who else? A lot of wide receivers on there. What do you got? Hines Ward, Reggie Wayne, Anquan Bolden, Torrey Holt, and Steve Smith. That's a lot. They're not all going to get in. One or two of them might, though. Ricky Waters is on this list, too, and he may get in. That would be kind of cool. If Eric Allen and Ricky Waters got in, that could be kind of badass. James Harrison. No, Lou, that's what I just went over, bud. I missed out on that. We were living in Nashville at the time. Induction day was actually on Liam's birthday, and I couldn't go. Like I said, had we been living here still in Ohio, Cincinnati area, I would have gone, because then it's just a 3-hour ride up and a 3-hour ride back afterwards, and I would have gone. But we were living in Nashville, so it would have been an 8-hour, in which case I'm not driving back, and then I'm gone the entire day on my son's birthday. So I couldn't do it. Don't get me wrong; it's not that I didn't want to be there, but and he is my favorite football player ever. But my kids come first, so that's just the way it is. Yeah, and now, let's say it was now. Flash forward to now, the way Liam is now with football and everything, he would have probably gone as a birthday present, and he would have been thrilled about it. But back then, wasn't his thing. So I got no regrets. I'm not upset about it at all. I got to spend the day, and I watched it on TV. Got to see Quimby and Cap front and center. That was pretty fun. Yeah, we had a good time watching from home. I was, of course, emotional watching it, but yeah. So yeah, that's the list. I don't know. What do you guys think? We'll throw this link up there one more time, but I am going to get out of here in just a few minutes. I've got a lot of crap to finish up here before I shove off tomorrow. So If anybody wants to jump in, tell me what you think. Breaker19, there he is. What's up, dude?
What's up, buddy? Just got a call from my father, so I think tonight's the night. So I just wanted to chime in to you, but before I start crying, I'm going to call you tonight. But I just wanted to chime in and say I love you guys. It's been rough.
Yeah, but, man. Hang in there, brother. Don't it's never easy.
Adam, I'm going to call you tonight, okay?
Yeah, give me a holler.
But yeah, he gave me a call. Wanted me to call my uncle and kind of say his last words. So it's tough, It's not easy.
Sure.
Especially when when I moved into my house, the guy just bombarded us with gifts, and it's not all about gifts. It's not all about that. I'm not that kind of person, but it was very generous and very loving, and kind of like you, Adam. Somebody who I could talk to and just, either shoot the shit, yell at, cause hell between us and him, and it was all gravy the next day. And it's hard when you lose somebody like that. Not just some friend that you knew from drinking with or working with, but yeah, so it's tough. What do you now on to the Eagles? What do you think is going to happen on Sunday night?
I think it would be very easy for the Eagles to look past this game because Baltimore's on the horizon.
Do you? And I'm sorry, dude. I'm gonna grab a beer here because it's one of those days.
Sure.
But are you saying that it's a trap game?
Yes, very much so. It's on the road, all the way across the country. The Rams are a weird team. One week they look like world beaters. The next week they look like dog shit. I just can't figure them out. Look, you guys have heard me say it a billion times over the last couple of years. We're better. We are the better team. Talent-wise, there's no question about it. So I expect to win the game. To me, it comes down to the coaching, making sure these guys are ready and not looking past this at the looming challenge against Baltimore the following week.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to for me. I think you just got to go out there and do your thing, and we got to stop with the damn slow starts to games.
I agree with that.
We have got to get off and rolling earlier in football games. This first quarter bullshit where we've scored twice in the first quarter all year, this has got to end. Against better teams, you're not going to get away with it. So that has to change. I don't give a fuck what they got to do, but it's got to change.
Well, I was going to say, I don't give a shit what you do. A W is a W. I don't care how the hell you get it.
I agree.
If you want that number one seed, the Lions aren't going to lose more than maybe, one more game?
Yeah,
if they lose any at all?
So they've got a few tough opponents, but dude, that Lions team is brutal. They are brutal. Pretty much everyone who they've played has then lost the week after because they just beat you up.
Yeah, they beat the shit out.
So they get they're at the Colts this weekend. That's a cupcake. Then they're home for the Bears. They'll roll the Bears. Then they got to play the Packers and Bills, but they get them both in Detroit. And then they're at the Bears, at the Niners, and then home for the Vikings. So they've got a few tough ones left, but they're favorable spots, right? Like they get the Packers and Bills back-to-back weeks, but they get them both in Detroit in the dome. They don't have to go outside. Everybody knows Jared Goff stinks outside in the cold weather. They get in a controlled environment at Ford Field in Detroit. The toughest road game they've got left is at San Francisco on December 30th at night. It ain't going to be warm in San Francisco on December 30th at 8:15 p.m. It's likely going to be cold. It's likely going to be windy. That's not a Jared Goff game. They're going to have to run the football. And that might be a Niners team that's fighting for playoff life at that point. So I don't know. I mean, the Bills can beat them. The Packers can beat them. The Niners can beat them. They're going to kill the Bears twice. And they're going to kill the Colts this weekend too. So
I don't understand that. The line for the Jaguars game was only 14. Okay, the line for this Colts game is only 7.
So it's actually, so you got to look at that as if it's 10 because it's actually in Indianapolis.
Okay.
So what they're telling you is on a neutral site.
The Lions here, dude. We're not talking about fucking.
What Vegas is telling you with a 7-point spread in Indianapolis, and don't forget, Indy looked a lot better last week than they had previous weeks. They're telling you that on a neutral site, the Lions are a double-digit favorite. They're just 3 points for the home team. That's the rule, right? And they're still favored by 7. They're going to crush Indianapolis, dude. Like,
right. I just don't get it. I don't understand. Like that Houston Cowboys game, which you guys on Quimby's post, it was like, dude, please. Quimby doesn't know who to pick. What was it? I know he's smarter than that. I love that guy. Come on, man. They're only giving 7 points.
Quimby likes to troll the audience, man. Hey, Fanny's got something here for you, bud. Let me read this to you. It says, Dave, just breathe. There's no time limit on grief, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Grief is only when love has no place to go. It's okay to not be okay. We're here for you. Hugs.
And Fanny, I appreciate that. However, when you're driving a fucking ton machine like I am, you kind of have to, pony up or shut up. And I got to make money. So, yeah, I understand grief and I understand crying, but, it's tough when you're driving that machine and you can't really, you kind of just have to let it go, So, I don't know if that made sense, Adam, but,
no, you're good, man.
Driving on the road, dude.
Here's the other thing I would tell you is everybody grieves in their own way. In their own way and in their own time, right? So it's however each person does this, right? There's no set way of this is how you have to, this is what we do. It doesn't work like that. Everybody's different. So you're out on the road, you're doing your thing. The minute it stops, that's probably when it's going to hit you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it did today.
Yeah. So
I mean,
I'll tell you the other thing that we've got here, the problem we have, and the reason why we had to beat Washington on Thursday night is because our next 2 games, right, at LA, at Baltimore, that's rough. Back and forth across the country, in LA against a Rams team that can pop up and bite you, and then back to Baltimore against one of the AFC's best. The problem with that is the Commodes, while we go out to LA and then back to Baltimore, they get to sit home and play Dallas and Tennessee. So winning that game Thursday was huge because I'm not sure we're going to win both of these next 2 games. It's a lot to ask to go out to LA, get a win, come back to Baltimore and get a win there too.
I'm not sold on Baltimore anymore. I'm not sold on
their pass defense is shitty. It has been all year.
The Steelers shut them down pretty good. Used to be worried about the Steelers, but
I am worried about the Steelers. I'm worried about the Steelers too. I am. I mean, the way our schedule goes, so it's at LA, at Baltimore, but then we get Carolina at home in Philly. That's a joke. But then thank God we get the Steelers in Philly. And then we're at Washington, and then we're soft landing home for Dallas and New York. So 4 of the last 5 are at home. 3 of them, is that right? Yeah, 3 of them against cupcakes, basically.
Is any of you Green Legionnaires giving my boy Keenan tickets to that game like you did 2 years ago when I met him?
Where's it? Which one?
So I met Keenan 2 years ago at the Steelers game. When Quimby gave him his tickets.
Oh.
I was just wondering because I don't think Keenan has tickets for that one. I'm not sure about that, but I was just wondering if any of you guys are ponying up 2 tickets to that game too.
Oh no, I don't know if they've got anything for him for that one. We didn't do a whole lot of giveaways this year, so it was. I think that's just because the ticket prices are fucking outrageous.
Ruth's a diehard Steeler fan. I think I told you this. So I think that's the game that we're going to come home and have Christmas with my parents, and I know she wants to go to that game, so
yeah,
hit that game up.
I've got a guy here, a friend here, who's part of my nest here. Him and his girlfriend. She's a Steelers fan. They're driving out and stopping in Pittsburgh to see her grandmother or something. And then they're driving out to Philly to the game and then coming back. So yeah, I get it.
We stopped in Pittsburgh. We stopped by the stadium. They have that burger, that Roethlisberger place. I forget what it's called. Ruth knows more than I do about it. But it was pretty good though. I like Pittsburgh, man. It's a nice city. Very
yeah,
nice
it's got nice sight lines, nice views and shit. PNC
Yeah.
Park, where the Pirates play, is really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Went to a game there. That place is cool.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to fly out tomorrow night to Los Angeles, and we're expecting some pretty fucked up weather here. So, cross your fingers.
Cincinnati's getting snow. Iowa's getting snow.
So we're not the snow. The snow's not the big deal. The accumulation is less than an inch, so it's not shit. The biggest problem we got is the wind that's going to come with this.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the snow. They'll get the snow off the runways. That's not a whole lot. You're talking about like an inch to an inch and a half, maybe, over the course of like 24 hours.
What is your wind gust? What is your wind gust going to be?
Well, they're talking about, it depends on which report you're looking at, but they're saying 20 to 30 miles an hour with gusts up to 40.
That sucks.
And trying to get a plane off the ground and that could be a problem.
Uh-huh.
So worst case scenario, the worst possible thing that could happen is I get delayed here in Cincy. I connect in Chicago. I get delayed in Cincy, get to Chicago, and then they can't get me to L.A. from Chicago, and I'm stuck in O'Hare for the night.
Get a plane to Des Moines.
I got to get to L.A.
Remember you?
L.A. freaking Amarillo by morning.
I'm still owed a case of Yingling by you, buddy.
I know. You were supposed to be in fucking New Orleans.
And then what was the thing with Penn State?
Oh, so one of the
I have your show going when I have Ruth on the phone.
Oh
So
shit!
she's yapping. I'm trying to hear you, and I can't. You know what I mean?
So the playoff projection, 12-team playoff. One of the graphic today showed Penn State as the 6 and Georgia as the 11, which means we would play first round. And I told all these guys in here, I said, if you're a Penn State fan, you better pray that don't happen, because we'll end up being one and done.
I don't know, man. Carson Beck sucks. You want to talk about slow starts? These last 2 games, he couldn't do shit.
Have you seen James Franklin try to coach in a big game?
No. Yeah.
That won't go well.
Is he going to ask you what your name is?
Who's that? Oh, fucking James Franklin? Fuck
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so sick and tired of that prick with ears. Does he not look like a penis? His head. Like, especially when you see him from the back and you can't see his face, it's just his head looks like a penis. That's what I call him. I call him the penis.
Oh, you don't call him a dickhead?
Well, there's that too. I call him a lot of things.
Yeah.
Especially during the game.
All right, man. I'm going to get out of here. I don't know how to say this phone call to my uncle. I got to call Ruth and get my kids on the phone. I don't know what to say. I honestly, dude, how do you tell somebody bye? You know, like, how do you do that?
You don't say goodbye. You talk about how thankful you are for the time you've had with them, and how thankful you are that your kids got to meet him, that, how grateful you are for all of the kindness and generosity. And it's never goodbye. It's I'll see you later. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's how I would do it. But that's, like I said, everybody does shit their own way. You'll find the words, dude. You just gotta get off the road.
Look up to you. You know I look up to you.
You'll find the words, man. You just gotta get the conversation started. And if he's of sound mind enough to at least talk a little bit, then enjoy talking to him.
He can't talk.
He can't talk.
He mumbles. I've been talking to my dad while I was driving these past couple of days, and I said to my father, "How's he doing?" And he goes, "Dave, basically, He's like you after an Eagles game. I'm summing it up. He didn't say that, but he goes, he's like, mumbling, like you don't know what he's saying. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to sound like a dick, but it's like me after a Green Legion tailgate or me after an Eagles game. He goes, yeah, that's exactly what it is, Dave. Except he's not drunk. He's not drunk. He's not a drunken asshole like you. He just, he can't talk like that, but he's not drunk. So, but yeah, he can't talk. My father said he can listen.
Okay.
He knows what you're saying, but he can't really say anything, if that makes sense.
Then all you do, then you just tell him how thankful you are that he was a part of your life. That you're grateful for that time, how much you love him, and and it's like I said, it's not goodbye. It's I'll see you later. I'll see you down the road, something like that. Don't say goodbye. Goodbye is too much finality to it, and it's never over. It's just on pause for a little while. That's all.
Yeah. All right,
that's brother. The best way I can tell you, dude. I had to deal this with my grandfather face to face. He couldn't speak either, but it was it was all we could do to just be there and tell him how much we loved him, and we'll see you soon.
My parents and my two brothers saw my grandmother take her last breath, and I probably would have went to the bar so fast that it wouldn't have been funny. So you're right. These things really just, they hit you, and it's more, I can't handle it.
Don't go to the bar. Don't go to the bar.
So, no, I can't. No, I can't.
I tell you now, that is the worst possible thing to do.
What?
Because not only are you gonna get drunk and drown in your sorrows and feel worse, the next morning when you're hungover, you're gonna feel like an absolute pile of shit. Like it's just the worst thing you can do. Clear your head.
Then you got to drive this machine.
Yeah, fuck that.
And that's fuck that hangover. You got to drive this machine.
Yeah,
I've done it. Yeah. You don't want to drive this thing. It's hell.
Yeah, so I would imagine it's.
No, I'm not going to be going to. No. I thought about it. There's a Hooters, I think, like 8 miles away, but no. So you're exactly right.
Don't go tie one on. Having a beer or two and some wings, there's nothing wrong with that. But don't go.
Oh, and you know me, Adam. You know me. So
you start hitting them hard, dude. That's gonna make for a rough time.
Yeah. All right, buddy. I'm gonna call you tonight. Okay. I love you.
All right, love you too, brother. Hang in there, man. You're gonna be all right. Yeah, man. All right. This is our good friend Dave. He's going through. Well, you guys know he's about to lose his uncle, so keep him in your thoughts and prayers tonight. Him and his family, and he'll find the words once he gets on the phone. A little bit odd that it'll feel odd that you're not face to face and the other person can't really answer you, but as long as he can hear it, and he can hear it, and you can understand it, then he'll find the words. You just gotta get the ball rolling. That's all. All right, kids, I'm gonna get out of here. I've got a bunch of crap to finish up, and I got a long, long, long day tomorrow. So, everybody in the room, thank you once again for being here. Don't think we'll get to the back porch next week either, with it being Thanksgiving week. But the week after Thanksgiving, we'll get back to the porch, and hopefully we'll start going there pretty regularly from now on. So it's not just me sitting in the living room here. All right. Try to get some guests on for you guys, make it a little bit more entertaining. But until then, folks, thank you all for being here. Keep Dave Califoot in your thoughts and prayers. Cross your fingers for me tomorrow night that I don't get stranded in Chicago. I would appreciate it. But come on back in next week, and we will talk Thanksgiving, what we're thankful for. Hopefully we're relishing in another road victory. I will have stories from the left coast. And we'll keep this train on rolling. Until then, folks, this has been the Unhappy Gilmore Show, powered by Green Legion Radio and part of the Green Legion Radio family. Proudly brought to you by the beautiful ladies at Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club, located at 2740 South Front Street in Philadelphia. Call 215-467-1980 for all of your group and party information. Guys, be safe. Have fun. Enjoy the upcoming weekend. Get through this week's hostage situation safe and sound. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Remember, the judge is not back in until Monday. And as always, kids, go Birds. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Take care. Be good. We love you.